Yes, Wagwan people. Welcome back to Afriq 24, and we are back once again with yet another amazing episode hapa Dimba La Afriq. And if you can see me here in studio, you know it's about time we discuss some football matters. And I'm not alone in studio hapa. Niko na Carson Kitui, who has been niseme aje amepotea for a while, but happy to have him back here hapa in studio today hapa akinisaidia tuchambue mpira kidogo. Carson, karibu sana kwenye show.
Asante.
It's been a minute, Carson. It's been a minute ama it's been an hour.
It has been an hour.
Anyway, karibu sana Carson kwenye show hapa. And niseme aje football side two times zenye niseme aje za lala salama. We saw last week Real Sociedad clinched the Copa del Rey. Tumeona saizi as it stands, Barcelona they have let's say they have one hand on the trophy with 11 points clear. The FA Cup playing against City, and the interim manager Will McFarlane, the under 23 playing against Guardiola in the FA Cup final, and Chelsea wako na bao. They have let's say this month Iba Enzo Fernandez was the goal of the month because it's the only goal. And today which is our lead. So before we get deep into the game, Carson, do you think the under 23 manager has a chance against Guardiola? Ama the best they could do is get to a final?
Thanks, Alex, and thanks for coming back. It has been a while. For me, my views over the game, I see the best what the coach has done is at least making Chelsea qualify to the final. And obviously, football sometimes have slips and either pick up in football.
Okay, asante sana Carson. And this week also bado tumeona Rosinia was sacked. Nashangaa and immediately has been sacked. There is no player mwenye ali sent any message to him, which raises a lot of questions about Chelsea Football Club. And my question to you, Carson, bado hapa kwa Chelsea. Does it mean, Carson, that these players were not buying into his ideas, or niseme aje these guys walikuwa wanacheza hivyo vibaya ndio to see Liam Rosinia getting sacked? Because how comes I've never seen a manager getting sacked and literally no player has sent any message, encouraging message or anything? So what does it signal? Inakani kama mafans wamefurahia kuona the coach was sacked. So that's my question to you, Carson. So do you think these players were niseme aje they were performing poorly because they were not buying into Rosinia's tactics, or they were performing poor because they wanted him sacked? Oh, so sorry kidogo hapo guys for the technical problem kidogo, tumepoteza Carson. So as it stands, we have to continue discussing the football matters. So as I was saying before, Carson apotee kwa studio, that Rosinia amekuwa sacked and literally no player alituma any message, encouraging message. I don't know whether it was too soon. I don't know whether to say it was too soon that the manager hasn't been with the players for a while, or sijui niseme the yani players wako na buy into his idea, because the fact that Rosinia was sacked and no player put out any message encouraging to him leaves us with a lot of questions. And one, mimi kwanza nitasema the players wamepigwa 5 games in a row and they couldn't even respond. The players yani Chelsea tulikuwa tunakaa yani ni kama yani Chelsea cannot score a goal. Literally Chelsea can't score a goal. Midweek played against Brighton. I think the second half was a little bit better, Enzo was a little bit more involved in the game. But all in all, it was a very, very poor performance. Well deserved win from Brighton. Walicheza poa, uh, walicheza poa, and what can I say? They deserved the win. Brighton walikuwa poa. They started on the front foot, walikuwa na wave after wave of attack, and Robert Sanchez kept Chelsea in the game. Clearly speaking, Sanchez aliweka Chelsea kwa game, produced some very very good saves, despite Jarel Hato na Fofana disaster class yenye ilifanya akafungwa, but all in all I think Robert Sanchez alikuwa put on a good performance. But again, Chelsea kapigwa with no response. So it's like the games ilikuwa ni they were so repetitive, yani the poor performances. But immediately Rosinia was sacked and McFarlane ameingilia leo, and we can say Chelsea has been a little bit better. It's not I'm not coming here after and niseme ati leo Chelsea are back or whatever. But I feel like today's game was a little bit better. Of course, Chelsea lucky to have Joao Pedro back in the lineup. You can see what Joao Pedro offers in the nine. He drops into midfield, fast touch, link up play, ability to take on players, ability to read the game, ability to what else to assist. Yani Joao Pedro akikuwa tu hapo in the Chelsea, you can feel that niseme aje his impact, because if he doesn't bring goals, yani Joao Pedro is very very much heavily involved in Chelsea's attack. Yani ndio niseme that's what Chelsea tumelack also. The lap is very very poor. He's not what people expected him to be. One, he has a very very bad first touch. Two, he can't read the game. Three, he needs like 500 chances to even attempt to score one. So today niseme Chelsea kwanza hapo Leeds walianza poa. They started on the front foot na hiyo free kick ya Noah Okafor. So I feel like Okafor could have done better. And how could he have done better? That's the question. One, there are so many times that Noah Okafor amepata the ball in right positions. He just needed to slot in a good pass up for Calvert Lewin for him to take a shot, but he was a bit hesitant. It's like he was trying something else, and it didn't really work out. It could materialize for him. So again, Leeds were lose opportunity, and from there on, ilipatia Chelsea a chance to settle, and Chelsea new life under McFarlane. They took the opportunity, they settled in well, started creating chances, started same as getting into the game more, and good for them. Chelsea they got the game more, and it was helpful for them. Started to create chances. Sorry, there's a very very big issue with Chelsea. One, I feel like Chelsea, if Colwell is coming back, Chelsea need one centre back, world class centre back to pair him with. Two, Chelsea still need a goalkeeper, something like a Thibaut Courtois level. So me, what would I say for a cheap goalkeeper who can come in and do a great job? I feel like the Atletico Madrid goalkeeper, the backup one, Muso can be a very very good fit for Chelsea. He can slot in well up on Yuma, and when he comes in, I believe goalkeeping issues zitakuwa zimepungua, because I feel like Musa amecheza poa. We have seen him do well for Atleti, covering for Black. So if Atleti hawatampea opportunity, Musa could be a good fit for Chelsea hapo nyuma. Center back, if Colwell comes back and is not at his best, Chelsea will need two world class center backs. Yani pairing ikisimama hapo nyuma, it's solid. Wing backs, no problem. Midfield, no problem, but I would love to see Palmer on the wing. We get a new 10 mwenye anaweza cheza poa. Buonanotte has been starved of minutes of reasons why, don't know. So again, shida ingine tena iko hapo Chelsea, the wings. The wings ni issue moja kubwa sana yenye iko hapo Chelsea, because yani attack ya Chelsea it's so blunt. it's so blunt and it's so weak such that yani it doesn't threaten anyone. Yeah. Yani attack ya Chelsea haiwezi ikatishia mtu yoyote. If you have Garnacho, you have Pedro Neto, let's say you have Delap, yani hiyo anyone with that attack, yani you're just assured that this team is not going to score goals. One Pedro Neto, yani niseme aje, is a very fast player that doesn't know how to use his space. Is a fast player who doesn't make runs in behind yani is a player mwenye awezi cannot take on anyone literally, doesn't have successful take ons, dribbles bure, crosses bure. So hapo Estevao injured, double trouble for Chelsea. Garnacho on the other hand, if you watch today's game, Garnacho was so predictable. Garnacho alikuwa predictable, yani ukiona tu hivi game yake ulikuwa tu yani even the wing back yani he didn't really need to do much because Garnacho was predictable, alikuwa predictable sana. And Garnacho being predictable also another issue, yani niseme aje, this guy could be one of the worst wingers in the Premier League level. Because even the simple thing, yani ile tu creativity kidogo, just get the ball, put it across for the striker to try and score. That really can't do. Needs a million chances to score. Yani niseme aje, Garnacho is one of the worst signings. That's why me speaking as a Chelsea fan, mi nilikuwa nataka Xavi Simons. Because even if Simons doesn't perform this season, you can see the quality is there that with time Xavi Simons is going to do well. But for Garnacho, this guy, ache tu mpira. Football is not for him. Maybe he should try another sport. For somebody like Liam Delap, maybe he needs to go back to a small team. Maybe that's where he will thrive. But for Chelsea, I don't see him doing anything productive with himself. Sorry for that, some little bit technical glitch hapa kidogo to the speed training. But sorry for that small technical issue. But anyway, let me welcome hapo Carson. Let me welcome him back hapa. Hey Carson, karibu sana. Stima ilikuwa imepotea.
Network kidogo.
But anyway, karibu sana Carson. Ulikuwa unakuja kama nilikuwa nimekuuliza swali. I had a question for you. So
Yes.
when you called the Carson, was it that Chelsea was playing bad so that Rosinia gets sacked? Ama these players are not buying into his ideology? Because the guy alivuta even literally Carson, there is no player mwenye alisend even a strong message to him, as we always see a coach getting sacked, players wanga wanatumanga a strong message na appreciation, but for this guy no one did so ndo nauliza Carson, what do you think?
For me, I can say there's a particular time I followed over. Uh, it
I
was
think Carson umeshikilia mic.
Okay. Let me release it.
Sasa yuko sawa, uko sawa.
You're getting me?
Eh.
Uh, I was saying, in my view, and either the games have got the players were not happy with the coaches, and that's why I've not seen any message of solidarity with him after being sacked. And I've seen when they are playing, for instance, the game against Manchester United, I saw Garnacho. I cannot refer to him as a player. Let me refer to him as a joker at some point, or rather, Ogam is better because he was using the ball anyhowly and unnecessary. So for me, the players never wanted the coach, and that's why they've not proved in solidarity with him after being sacked. That's what I can.
Okay, asante sana Carson, and Getting into today's game sasa Carson hapa. Nini Chelsea 1 Leeds nil. It wasn't the best game yenye tunaweza sema ati Chelsea put out a master class performance or any of that sort, but in the end they got the win, and the win is what matters in today's game. But sasa for now sasa Carson ndo anashangaa Enzo Fernandez goal scorer for today for Chelsea. Obviously we saw him hapa, sijui niseme, I don't know if this is the right word, but we saw him to work for Real Madrid during the international break up, always speaking about how he'd love to live in Madrid and so on. And of the few days he has been linked to Manchester City moves. Jiko umesikia hiyo? So because nasikia Bernardo Silva is going at the end of the season. So my question is Carson, do you agree that do you think Enzo Fernandez to City is a good signing?
Uh, for me, at Man City, of course, he is. He's a good signing. With Manchester City's playing style, Enzo Fernandez at some point is a ball carrier. He has dangerous passes, and he has that midfielder. And more so, he'll be playing beside Nico Gonzalez, who is a young and energetic player. It will be among the best signing of in my view, because they'll have a midfield of Nico Gonzalez, Enzo Fernandez, and Ryan Church. It will be a compact midfield in my view, and in my point, it's one of the best signing Man City could have done for Enzo Fernandez.
Okay, asante sana. And sasa hizi hapa nini, so Chelsea fans are quick to say that nitwaje, in one of their worst seasons, even going 5 games without a goal, wamefika final. They have reached a final and they are playing City. Does Chelsea have a chance, Carson, against this Manchester City yenye saizi imeshika form in the FA Cup final? Do they stand a chance, or it's a walkover for City? Flawless victory.
I remember the first show we were doing. I told you Man City seemed a favorable team to win majority of the trophies. I said, neither am I not the prophet of doom, but I said, because they had, and uh, they had good players. And as you see, Pep is a technician. Sometimes he's a magician. For me, Chelsea has played. That was a tournament for me. They have done a good job. A tournament doesn't care. You can win ugly, but you have won. That is a tournament. That's not a league where you have a home and away. So for me, Chelsea, they have played very well in the FA tournament. And for me, to the finals, the same way I do say, Alex, and I'll repeat, a tournament doesn't require a lot of cooking, a lot of pasting football, and a lot of things. When you're playing a tournament, most of final is about goal. It doesn't matter how you score. You might score with your hair, you might score with your fingers, but what matters a lot after the 90-minute whistle, or either the extra time, or either the penalty shootout whistle, what matters forward. And for me, you cannot underrate Chelsea. Where it has come from and where it has reached, they can win. The same way they won the Club World, the same way the same miracle can happen. Remember Chelsea playing Man City in the same final. They played rough football. I've never seen. In fact, even you cannot see Brazil playing that such kind of football like the way Chelsea played against Man. But they won. So when it goes to a tournament, doesn't matter the form of the team. What matters is the scoring, the conversion rate of players, most of the striking. And either it doesn't matter how you're going to play with this team, with this structure. What matters in a tournament is about scoring. And when you can score 1-0 and defend, Alex, you can play a formation of 5-5, but you have won 1. So at the end of the 90 minutes, you'll have the truth. And for me, I cannot give Man City. I cannot give them a chance of 100%, but I'm giving them a high probability. But I'm not undermining or underrating. They still have the.
Okay. Santa sana Carson hapo, and Yeah, we move on swiftly. Hatuwezi ongelea Chelsea the whole show. And yesterday we had a big game up at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal played against Newcastle. Big game up for Arsenal. Though some people were rubbish off the fixture that they have because people are saying they're playing teams that are bottom half of the table, so they have an easier run towards the end of the season. And yesterday, Apple, I watched the game Arsenal versus Newcastle. They started well. They were on the front foot. They were trying. They still the corner tactics, but this time Apple are able to bring in the header. This time they were trying to link up with Eze to try and carve one in the back of the net, and it worked out for them. Eberechi Eze pop up with a big goal, and right now he's at double figures in terms of goals in his first season in Arsenal, and people might say it's not bad that he can grow into it, but so as it stands, easy. Man City beat Burnley, and when they beat Burnley, people critics were quick to say that mbona ilikuwa bao moja, they could have scored more, so they have given Arsenal a lifeline. And as it stands, Arsenal sasa they replicate the same scoreline, wamefunga 1-0, and after the 1-0 they are still they will play Burnley ahead, so they can make it six points ahead of City, putting pressure, and so on. So my question to you, Carson, is who is more likely, Carson, to go and clinch the title? Because as it stands, Arsenal watakuwa yani wana play more games ahead of Manchester City, and outside that, still bado the niseme aje, the difference sasa hivi hata si goal difference, ni goal scored, and goal scored City wako ahead even after Arsenal won. So my question hapo ni Carson, what does Ateta need to do to win this title? Ama yani hii imekaa tu mbaya.
Uh, Thank you, Alex. Uh, for me, my point of view, I've always said they cannot win a league depending on set pieces. That is my number one view. Then number two, Arsenal is like a senile animal which cannot breed to produce offspring. For me, there is no way you can sit on a table for more than those days. Then in the last run, you start panicking because there is no range matters point, and either the goal difference of the number two is more higher than you, and either lesser games. Uh, for me, in my view, Arsenal, I cannot say sarcastic. I can just say they are phobic to trophy. They are phobic to trophies. That is my. And if you have seen their trend, the first of the season, the first when the season started, they have been scoring 5 goals, 4 goals. When you came the second part of the league, they started scoring two. They started scoring three. Now they are scoring one. So what does it mean? So on a probability, and either view that when they're scoring one for now, and if you take Man City, they have no injuries. They are in good shape. They have good players like Ryan Chaki. They are unpredictable. Semenyo can score. We'll have Doku can score. Nico Reilly from a left back inverted can come and score. Any person in Man City can score. Mark Guehi can score. And for Arsenal, if Declan Rice cannot curl a good corner kick into another team post, then their scoring probability decline. So for me, their chances of winning the Premier League is still very low, and at the same time very difficult. And for me, when Arsenal wins a trophy, I don't know. I should just be out of this world because how can Arsenal win a trophy? Most of the year, it cannot work. For me, their probability is very low. And Man City, for me, they have finishing pass. I said earlier on the first show, they have good players. At the same time, Pep knows how to finish the league. And for me, the game of Burnley, he never wanted to disrupt the Arteta's speed because if he could have scored 4 goals, but they ended up only scoring one because if they scored three, I think Ateta will not be in good health now because that will be a big blow. And for me, Arsenal cannot be favorable. My favorable team to win the Premier League is Man City. That's what I.
Okay, so Carson, I want to get you loud and clear. So you want to tell me the issue with Arsenal is more of scoring goals. That's why they will be defeated because City work on a better attack. Even despite having the more difficult games, they have a better attack of Semenyo, Doku, and they have creative players Kina Ryan Chaki and Nico O'Reilly when umesema he can invert and score. And for Arsenal, niseme aje their front three hasn't been the best. Ukiona kama Saka amekuwa injured, he came back recently, but front three ilikuwa ni Noni, Havertz and Martinelli, ama unapata ni Noni, Gyökeres na Martinelli, and that front three is not firing. It hasn't been firing at the moment because Martinelli has one goal this season. Same thing for Odegaard, but for Odegaard, people can justify and say it's the injury. So, Carson, you want to tell me the issue with Arsenal, if they are to win, it's to bolster their attack next season.
For me, they need the okay. For me, they need a stable whereby they have unpredictable attack, whereby the attack line. You see, the modern football, Alex, is more about any person can score. The other day, we saw McGuire coming from behind and coming to score. And the modern football for Arsenal, they always depend on one person. It's a monopoly. Whereby you'll see without Saka, they're not scoring goals. When they have a player like Martinelli who is more than a runner, more than a footballer, who just runs anyhow, they cannot score goals. They have players like Havertz who came from Chelsea. And once you see a player coming from a team that is prone to winning trophies to a team that has never won a trophy, then it shows that that player at some point is a bunch of jokes. He cannot convert. So for me, Arsenal needs to improve on their attack line, and also they need to improve on their predictability. They should be unpredictable as a team, the same way Man City is. At the same time, they need to improve on their squad depth. They need to have players replacement. For instance, when you go to Man City, Rodri, I'm not giving him more than one season. He's old enough and injuries. He's replaced by Nico Gonzalez. The team is stable. The same way KDB went, we have Ryan Chak. Ryan Chak is doing a good job. The same way you have Foden. Foden is he's on the bench because his number is taken by Ryan Chak. This competition. You can play any player anywhere. Like Man City, if you are like Arsenal, sorry, if you take a player like if you take Odegaard to be flexible to play, either you're using a 4-2 formation to play on the other side of the wing, you cannot manage. So it's just about unpredictability. They should strengthen their front line, and either they should have a stronger bench. Because, for instance, Arsenal, you are playing like you have, then you are benching Havertz for Gaikon. Just putting in another bunch, look, another dance on the field. Like, there's no impact. But when you take Man City, when you move Haaland and bring this Egyptian guy, Mamouche, you'll see Mamouche will shoot and score. So that's the only difference we have between Arsenal and Man City. Because when you bring in Gabriel Jesus, for Arsenal, he comes to dribble the ball and grab goal, but running next to the post, that is doing zero. But when you bring in Mamouche, he's very direct. The same way Haaland is very direct. So that's the only difference between City and Arsenal. That's the difference.
Okay, asante sana Carson, and without wasting much time, wacha ni welcome the world champion Mzee Kelong. I don't know whether you're back in the city. Kelong, karibu sana kwenye show ya leo. Happy you made it.
Asante sana mzee Alex. Just arrived na world champions ndo hao mambo yetu yale, so happy to be here. Sasa si kikombe tunashinda, alafu tuko na successful season kushinda Arsenal, who will obviously bottle it. Manchester United sijui kuna trophy ya kuwa number 3, tutauliza hiyo. But sasa FA ni yetu, you can cash it in and take it to the bank.
So by the way, speaking on that Kelong, hapo before that I'll take us an opportunity to comment. Is this Kelong Chelsea's way back into Europe? Because as it stands, inakaa ni kama nseme top 5, not even top 4, top 5 ime kinda slip away. So the results are more based on the other teams falling down and Chelsea picking up points. So is this FA Cup win Chelsea's only route to Europe next season? Ama tutangojea Aston Villa ishinde Europa so that we can try and finish 6 so that tuone kama tutapata hiyo opportunity.
Yes, I think Liam Rosinia, the former Chelsea boss, ndo alitoka into this situation whereby tunakuwa karibu kama walimu wa mathematics tukicalculate points, na, na pia tunakaa wachawi tunakaa wachawi ba tunataka watu wengine wasiperform vizuri ndo hizi tukuwe considered, yeah. But sasa now it seems sai tuko number 8 kwa kama number 7 kwa Premier League. Hata hiyo hatuwezi cheza conference league ile yetu fulani, so we need to, of course, take Man City on at the FA final. It's not gonna be an easy task, but I'm hoping by then watakuwa wameshinda ligi, wapige sherehe, wakuje game yetu wakiwa wamelewa kama was it 2 years ago or just, yeah, the reason why we played whatever conference league is because Manchester United won the FA, like ikatutoa out of the equation because we were in the Europa spot, so Europa League spot, so wakatutoa ndo wakaingia Europa, sisi tukabaki USL Conference League. So yeah, we hope to take on Man City and win, then we will play in Europe. Yeah, but Europa League is a league for the likes of Manchester United, Aston Villa, those teams ndogo. We are supposed to be playing the big boys club, which is Champions League. So let's wait and see. Hope now the boys their morale is back. Okay, today I watched the game. I was listening. I listened to it because I was on the car. I listened to the first half. Network kapotea, and we looked like we were agile, physically on it. So we hope that the boys' motivation has been renewed and rejuvenated. Now they can go ahead and win the remaining games, which will give us a chance to play in either Europa League or the Champions League, which we are targeting.
Okay, asante sana hapo mzee Kelong for those remarks. And kwanza umepata Kelong kama we were talking about niseme aje about the title race, and I was saying to Carson, tulikuwa tunaongea na Carson, said Carson spoke about Arsenal bolstering their their bench and also their attack, and also changing the mindset if they are to do better, because yesterday they got the win against Newcastle. But recently, Tutumona Kelong, Pep spoke and he said right now it's not about winning, it's about outscoring your opponents. So Rolza Kelong. And as it stands, it looks like Arsenal have the easier run towards the end of the season. But issue yenye wanashikiwa ni scoring goals. And this is something yenye there was a time tulikuwa hapa kwa show hadi na Jose na Jalala, and I asked the question, in every season a team that wins the league unapatanga there is a superstar forward mwenye anacarry the team. Unapata kama Chelsea tukishinda 2017 superstar Hazard, unapata for Liverpool unapata Salah was always the superstar forward scoring the goals. For the Man City unapata same ni Haaland. Even in Leicester winning in 2016, Jamie Vardy superstar scoring the goals. But for this Arsenal, nikiangalia attack naona Martinelli has 1 goal, kwa season. Naona Gyökeres has 12 goals, needs penalties needs to be helped by penalties for him to be able to score. Naangalia Madueke, naangalia Bukayo Saka ametoka injury, and I'm not finding a superstar forward, bado inafanya I still raise alarms about this Arsenal side winning the league. So nauliza Kelong, do Arsenal look like they're going to do it? Because currently they don't look like outscoring City.
Yeah, they're going to be going to find out who Pep is, because Pep kwa timu ataishika, atapiga 6-0 and kwanza especially the running, Pep akilock in ni kubaya. Then you see Arteta is playing anti-football. You can't score one goal and protect the lead the whole time. Okay, we saw the Burnley versus City game, which ended 1-0 to City. But you could see the chances that City were creating. They had like 22 attempts or something on goal. Like they wanted to create, they wanted to score goal. You could see they wanted to score more goals, not just be satisfied with the one goal that scored. It's not like Arteta, who scores a goal and protects the lead, which is a is anti-football, and it's not the right way to win the title, because you have to be courageous, you have to take risk, you have to tell your players to attack and attack and attack even after they have scored one goal. It's only that karibia the 80th minute ama ndo unaanza kuprotect that your lead, but so wezi funga bao kuanzia dakika ya 9 alafu una protect the lead. That is not how to win titles. And yeah, and I don't think you'll manage it. Sababu if Newcastle could just score one goal, hiyo ni 2 points watakuwa wamepoteza, right? So yeah, so let's wait and see. I know Pep will lock in. It's gonna be an interesting match, interesting running. The title race is gonna go down to the wire. Yeah, and by the time City plays, um, Arsenal could wanaweza kuwa ameenda ahead in na 6 points, sababu pia Man City wako na game in hand, so it's let's wait and see. But I'm thinking Arsenal is set up. The way Arteta has set up Arsenal is not the right mentality to go and win the title. Is of course he plays with the handbrakes on. He doesn't take the necessary risk you're required to win a title. Yeah, he's I'd say too conservative and too protective of what he has. Plays a lot of defensive football, and he'll get exposed because remember, there's a week wanacheza, actually this coming week, right? They'll be having Champions League football. Tena wakimbusha huko na Atletico Madrid, alafu warudi huku wakimbishwe na the other opponents. They might lose both titles in just a week's time. So let's wait and see.
Okay, Saturday Zekelog, and without wasting much time, we also have to talk about the upcoming UCL matches, and hizo ndio nitakuwa nina post on Tuesday and Wednesday. Still on Arsenal, before we get to the Nini Bayern game, Arsenal wacheza, they're playing the second time against Atletico Madrid, and niseme Atleti ni watu wenye wamefocus sana na Champions League, yani they have put all their eggs in one basket. Even the Copa del Rey, which we expected them to win, they lost. But I feel like even before the game, before they played Barcelona, while they rested 11 of their players for the second leg, and they lost in the league. And I feel like Wameka all their baskets in this Champions League because they feel like this is the trophy they can win. The first time they played Arsenal, they got battered. And niseme that's one of the few games in the watch season yenye Arsenal dominate. They outplayed Atleti, yani kukuwa ram football, wanacheza poa na wakapiga mtu. They scored 4 goals, if I'm not wrong, walifunga bao 4, and good performance from Arsenal. But group stage fixture na semi-final fixture, those are two different matches. You can beat Paris in the group stage, but in the semis Paris wanaweza changamka wakupige. And so this week hapa hii game ya Simeone na Arteta ni yenye people like to call it a ram football because they feel like the person who scores first ataenda akaze, unaona, enda atakaza mpaka 90. So my question to you, Carson, what's your prediction? What's your analysis for the game Arsenal versus Atletico Madrid? Do you think, Carson, this is a ram football, Ama?
Thanks, Alex. For me, I know Arsenal is, as I said before, is like a senile man or rather senile living organism that is a bit an animal which has no reproducing value. For me, against Atletico, and the only strategy and either the tactic they have, they usually use set pieces to win. But for me, if they can just be lethal and play football, they stand a huge ground or rather large ground to win. But if they are coming with the mentality to depend on set pieces and score fast and defend, they are coming to lose. And more so, the same side on Simeon, if you can play players who are good on the ball, very courageous, they have a creative Alvarez and also a person who can convert. They also stand a huge chance to win the match. The same way they also have an experienced Griezmann. If the other day I saw the Athletic Bilbao game, the coach rested a lot of players. Griezmann, he rested Alvarez and other key players just for the sake of Arsenal. And for me, I'm very sure if Atletico comes in with the mentality of playing football, but if they come in the mentality of either playing that sub-county football like in Kenya, they won't win. But for me, a team that is going to win, the last time Arsenal played very well, but this time I see it difficult for them to win the match against Atletico Madrid.
Okay, asante sana hapo Carson for your analysis. Nilikuwa nimengoja hapa kina Mzalendo, nadhani watu wa Arsenal watakuja show lakini hawajakuja. Anyway, wacha tusikie analysis yako Kelong. Kelong, what's your analysis for the Arsenal versus Atletico Madrid? What is also your prediction? Because Carson anakuanga the prophet of doom. Wacha tusikie kutoka kwako. Kelong, what's your analysis and your prediction?
It's gonna be an interesting match. Uh, uh, El Cholo, which is Diego Simeone, is an experienced coach. He's now playing the third semi-final, right? And they're wanting to reach the final for the third time, right? And yeah, so I think he has experience, a lot of experience to win the game. He's been there before, and this time there's no Real Madrid or Barcelona to cut his victory shot. And you see, he's been ahead, rested his players, and he has nothing to play for. Of course, the La Liga is gone. Barcelona gone with it. He lost the final, the Copa del Rey final as well. So now his eyes is set for the Champions League, which he could have a chance, right? Of course, I wanted Barcelona to face Arsenal, then it could be an easier match to predict. But now, since it's Atletico Madrid, I think experience will because Diego Simeone's experience will overwhelm Arteta, because at the end of the day, it's how you set up your team to win the two matches. Remember, it's Atletico away, then Arsenal at home, so they need a nice lead where they can protect it at the Emirates. So for me, because I'm anti-Arsenal, I'd always back El Cholo Let me see him again in the final once again. I hope his heart is not broken for the I don't know what time, because he has been really trying to get Madrid cross over the line, but at the finals where he fails. And yeah, he removed my team Barcelona, which was a sad event. But yeah, Barcelona played like kids. They had two red cards in the in the matches, the two games, so it was impossible for them to go and win. But all the same, let's see what it happens. And also remember, this game is going to impact Arsenal in both ways, because number one, they have to put their best players on the weekday game. They have to put their best players on the weekend game. Remember, Simeone rested his team uh,
So, sorry.
on the weekend just to prepare for the Champions League, and also will rest them again on Saturday. So for him, he's only targeting one cup, while as Ateta is targeting both cups, which he might end up losing them all. So let's see. Another interesting game is gonna be the PSG versus Bayern game. That now will be a game to watch. Hii ingine tu ni kaka umekosa kazi Atletico na Madrid na Arsenal, you can tune in on Wednesday. No, is it on Wednesday or on Tuesday? And sasa ya PSG na Bayern, you have to cancel all plans. Kama uko na date, wachana na hiyo date. If you're a real football fan, that will be the most interesting game to watch, because it's gonna be attack after attack. You're gonna love it. That's the final, I guess. And well,
Actually,
with
hiyo game
that,
ni
you game Tuesday.
mm,
Yeah, whoever wins the PSG versus Arsenal match, again, they're the ones who are favorite to win the final altogether, because that is the side that has serious teams. Hii side ya Arsenal na Atletico Madrid, because Arsenal it had an easy route. Karibu hata Sporting ianguke now. So yeah, let's see what will happen.
okay. Asante sana for Kelonga, and hujatupatia match prediction because I feel like PSG versus Bayern, yeah, it's a blockbuster. Hiyo you have to cancel everything. Hata kama ni date ama hata kama uko na exam, hiyo lazima uweke kando. And I feel like it's going to be a good one because company ametushtua in the way ile intensity amekuja nayo Bayern wacheza poa. Front three nayo ni kali, and funny thing ni front three ni the previous English Premier League players naitwaje, Luis Diaz, Olise, Harry Kane, na ni front three yenye it's firing in all cylinders, and niseme aje playing style ya Bayern iko poa, and also tunajua Luis Enrique tunajuanga ni tactician. We know he's one of the few managers who it's not easy to beat Luis Enrique. Niseme aje, because I feel like Luis Enrique ndio the glue yenye inashikilia Paris. If you remove Luis Enrique, Paris crumbles. Na Paris wako na attack work, Kvaratskhelia on the wing very dangerous. Ousmane Dembele Ballon d'Or ni mbaya, and niseme aje, kina Pacho wako poa. So for me, if I would go for Paris, it's for the purposes that purpose ya Luis Enrique, because I feel like Luis Enrique ni tactician deadly sana, and ni mse ambaye ashikiki ni nini tu in terms of his his abilities as a coach. So for me, naweza sema I'll back Paris for the purposes tu ya coach, because coach ni deadly. Kelong, tupatie match predictions before we give Carson a chance.
Bayern PSG, that is hard to tell, and I support neither of the teams. But let's see. I'll go with Bayern. PSG walituchapa, so although pia Bayern walitunyorosha, but ya PSG ilikuwa uchungu sana sababu ya Liam, wewe nikikupata na wangu watoto tutapokea. Yeah, I'll go with Bayern. Oh, okay, you see Bayern's games karibu okay, they outscore the opponent. That's their mentality. PSG also works like that. So this is gonna be a blockbuster, as you've mentioned. But I'll back company and wish him all the best because he has a lethal attack. Hey, Police, Kane, Luis Diaz. Then you add throw in the mix of Musiala hapo ndani. It's gonna be interesting. Interesting. So I'll back Bayern. And yes, I'll back El Cholo. Nilikuwa naweza back Arteta kwani nimekunywa bangi.
And wacha tupatie Castle, tupatie analysis and your prediction for the Paris versus Bayern Munich game.
For me, Alex, I'll have what I have to say. It will be a difficult match, but a very interesting match. The same way Mzeke Long is very bitter the way PSG demolished them to the latter, because sometimes you cannot compete with a woman. By that time, Chelsea was like a woman. It could not have competed PSG in that match. For me, as Alex have said, I'll back Luis Enrique as a tactician, more so an experienced coach, and also a person who can read games before. And also, he has good players. Like what Brian players. It will be about the tactics the coach is going to use that day, either for the match. I will a win over Bayern.
PSG win over Bayern. And with that, I think tumekuja to the end of today's show. Mtanisamea nikimaliza mapema, niko na homa kali hapa, imekuwa ikinipeleka, but I still couldn't miss the show hapa, despite hapa homa imenisumbua, nimekuwa nikisneeze the whole time. So mtanisamea leo nikimaliza show mapema. But anyway, thanks once again, Carson, for joining me tonight. Hope to see you more often. Mzee Long, karibu sana. Thanks for joining once again. And kwa nimaliza show, I'm hearing hapa nitwaje, Mourinho amesema he would love a return to Chelsea. That's news imenifikia saa hizi. And still bado for the Blues, Kelong hapo next season Valentin Bako is joining, and some people are saying Enzo Fernandez and Man City, kuna hizo speculations, but I will hear about them. So as we close up, wacha tuanze na wewe Carson, tupatie your closing remarks before tufunge show leo.
Okay, thanks Alex for the opportunity. Before I proceed, they said people they should not get soon, but we are there for the sake of Edwin Sifuna. For me, I'll just have to say, as I predicted before earlier, as we had the start before Alex, Man City has a nice team, and they also have a nice replacement, top players, and that's why they've been on the toes. At the same time, there's a particular I told you that difference between Manchester cannot work. At least he started to play back four and win carry winning matches, and that's why you see always a man is always on top of a win, and that's why Chelsea is always at number 8 for now, and Manchester is at top 3, and that's why they will always put a man top man, and it will still remain. It will never. And what I can finish by saying, so I can advise Arsenal fans either not to be delusional. At least they should be logic. They used to compare some players with other players to make one. They used to say Saka is a Messi or either small Messi, but if you can just take the statistics of Saka and either the current Turkey, match. Uh, Allow me also to thank today Gor Mahia, they won the but now it's just an open leeway that we're going to win. So today, Stefan, poleni sana. I will have it next time. It will not have time. Yes, allow me to wish them a good evening.
Okay, asante sana Carson, and let me also give you Kelong a chance to tumalizie show ya leo Kelong hapa. Tupatie your closing remarks tukifungia.
Thank you, Alex. Uh, said today I was on the road. Didn't watch the game, but I'm happy we won. We're in the final. At least we have a chance of winning a trophy. Unlike some teams who will play only on Monday. And yeah, also the Champions League coming in. Gonna have interesting matches, and it's a good time to be a football fan. Gonna enjoy the matches, and yeah, hope by Thursday we know uh, be here to talk about what has happened in Champions League football. But yeah, so now Chelsea need to now get their heads again down and see on how they can get up to speed and start winning matches on the Premier League because imekuwa kitambo since we won a game. So, but yeah, there was nice for every Chelsea fan. We needed this more than anything else. Yeah, thank you. Have a good night.
Okay, asante sana. And Mzee Kelong, also you haven't spoken about Enzo joining Man City.
Hiyo ni Jaba stories. Hiyo ni Jaba stories. I think yeah, Chelsea in as much we sometimes look unserious. We know the players whom we can't sell to our rivals. We can't. The guys that team that are untouchable. You have Enzo Caicedo. You have Estavao. You have Cole Palmer. Manchester United fans were dreaming of having Cole Palmer, but nikaambia wamke wasikotolee. Yeah, those are untouchables. So there's no way Enzo goes to Man City. Hata kama Maresca will be heading there. Yeah, it's impossible. So yeah, those are just rumors. I don't think it will happen.
Okay, asante sana Mzee Kelong. Thank you for joining me tonight. Hapa leo mniache nimalize show mapema. Homa imenisumbua. Sijui kama ni mimi
Pole,
peke yangu.
pole sana, pole sana. Hope you get better.
Anyway, asanteni sana wadau, tukutane Thursday.
Thanks.